G'day guys and welcome back to the JFBS Supercoach channel. And today we're going to go through the round 9 review and the round 10 preview for NBL Supercoach. As you can see, we were beaten by Damon Lowry again. It's not great, not looking great, I'll be honest. We lost by just over 100 points. 1,300 people did beat him this week. So congrats to you guys. But round ranked in the top 25%. Not good. I have seen his team for round 10, but we'll quickly go over the review. There is a main reason why we lost. That is this week's. I wanted to check last week's. Yeah, too easy. Can we see the head-to-head scores? Yeah, cool. So obviously Casey Prather done for the year, which is super, super sad because I was kind of thinking about my favourite players in the league, and I think I've kind of narrowed it down, and I think it's Casey Prather. I reckon he's my favourite guy to watch. I mean, you got like Bryce Cotton, or you've got like Jack McVeigh's pretty cool to watch. I'm trying to think of some others like Kendrick Davis is pretty cool to watch. But yeah, Casey Prather, when I narrowed it down, I was like, you're my favourite. So it's so heartbreaking to see that he's gone down. He only played the one game and left late in the fourth quarter. How much did he score? It was a 60-something, wasn't it? Because he just puts the team on his back. 45, so times that by 335. Imagine if he had another like a 30, if he had a 32-point game for his game against, I don't know who they played last week, but we can check it out. Who did Brisbane play in that second game? I want to say it was, I don't know. Was it Sam? No, it was Melbourne. I didn't watch that game, unfortunately. But imagine if he had a 32, would have beaten Damon Lowry. But look, it doesn't really matter. We obviously can't change circumstances. But Tyrell Harrison, 126, had a slow first game, but bounced back in that second game. Did better than Damon Lowry's Menenga, so I'm pretty happy about that. Cheatham, I'm really glad I had him, 88 compared to Rob Baker's 60. And then I had Isaac White, who didn't perform as well as Cameron, but still, if you match Cheatham and White compared to Bacon and Cameron, I won that battle of the two. And obviously I won the vice captain battle, and I reckon I probably would have lost the captain battle, but I would probably still come home with the win. But Max Darling with a 9, Mohamed King with 42, very nice by King. Darling, I just did it because he was cheap, and it's just to match up a guy with Damon Lowry. I don't know how he went. If this wants to load, 12 and 2. I've seen this pattern. You can see a pattern here where he plays 12, 9, and then 2 and 1. Then he plays 17, 5, 28, 18, 9, 12, 2. So I don't know what's going on, but he must be like unfit or something. But let's move on to my team. And while we're looking at my team, we can look at Damon Lowry's team. So he's got Bannon, Peatling, Geordie Hunter, Nathan Sobey, Bryce Hamilton, and Malawatch. Mawan? It's Mawan, isn't it? McCotch Malawatch, my bad. So that's the team to beat. There's one very big red flag with that team, which I will tell you in a sec, because the guys that are playing two in this round are, if I just find it real quick, for round 10, it's Adelaide, Illawarra, Melbourne, Perth, Sem, Tasmania. So these are the guys that are playing twos. And like I said, Malawatch is playing one. So I'm going to steer clear of any Sydney players, and I think you should too. Hopefully no one tells Damon Lowry that. But that's a team to beat. I've got two made-up teams at the moment, but we can have a look at the cheap guys, I reckon. Let's just go highest price. Guys that I do like that you can go for. I like Blanchfield. I know they have Adelaide, but they've got Melbourne the week after the game after. If yes, they have Melbourne. So two pretty very tough matchups for Illawarra. Other guys, I mean, I don't mind out Isaac White, Bowen, Ben Eyre. I probably would go over Bowen. Daniel Foster because he's probably playing the most minutes out of all the cheap Sem guys. I probably wouldn't go Alir. Dash Daniels I like. I originally had DJ Mitchell in one team, but I don't know if I want to go with that route anymore. Is there anyone else? I mean, Ben Henschel, maybe if you've got the funds for it. My God. Vasiljevic has just plummeted in price at 166k. If you told me that at the start of the year, would have been perfect. But I think it's just hard. It's really bad for a guy like him who you're trying to fit on an offense with Bryce Cotton, and now there's an addition of Troy Brown Jr. He played 18 minutes, 17 minutes the last game. He's been starting on the bench for the past two games. So I think it's going to be a pain to what for his career. I reckon. Would if I was him, would I move? Probably, but where would you move? I'm trying to think at the top of my head. You could go to Perth, maybe. I don't know if they have enough money, or come to Melbourne, recruit all the small white shooting guards, except for Shaylee, who's a legend. No one else really, but anyways, I've got two teams made up. One with probably with the best player in the league, and one without. So obviously, just kind of spoilt the team. I think I like the second team going into it more than the first, but we'll do the first team for now. So with my guards kind of spoilt it already, I've got Bryce Cotton, and then I have Foster. So I think he's probably the other than Owen Foxwell. I mean, like the best cheap guys for Southeast Melbourne coming off the bench, I'm pretty sure, and not including Glover. So those are my guards. My forwards, Trusty Cheatham. I love him now. I think he's just a great dude to have. He's 23k less than Josh Bannon, and he's averaging more. But I know it's by 1 point, but I think he's better than those two in terms of scoring, like Supercoach points. And the other guy was DJ Mitchell, but looking at that four is looking a bit disgusting. I had Edwards here, and then I had to match up the matchups was Geordie Hunter. So that was my team originally. I don't know if I like it. I know it's got a higher projected win compared to the second team. Because Mitchell will probably have the same amount as Malawatch with playing two compared to his one, I reckon. And Foster playing two will be probably less than Peatlings, and Geordie Hunter the same. And then you've got Edwards who would do probably around one of these three, but Bryce will take on like another guy and a half score. So that's probably the reason. But I'm not going to go with this lineup. I'm going to go with the second team that I've made up, which is getting rid of four of them. So I'm getting rid of DJ Mitchell, Bryce Cotton, Jesse Edwards, and Geordie Hunter. So I've kept Cheatham and Foster. I reckon they're definite ins. Call me crazy. I don't really like this player too much, but I'm going to go with Nathan Sobey here. I mean, he's been that one-man offense for Southeast Melbourne, which is great. But, I don't really enjoy watching him, with all due respect. So I'm going to go, but even, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go with Sobey. I'll put the captain on him to really just keep it the same. Yes, and then Cheatham vice captain or something like that. Or actually the other bloke I'm bringing in. But I'll bring in the cheaper guys. This one, I will leave him last because I want to see my other options. This one I've got Chris Goulding. So for 210k, they play against Illawarra. I'm sure he wants to like kind of ball out against them. Can you show me a thingo? Then they play Perth. So, yeah, kind of tough matchups for him. And then for centre, it will be Joe Lawalichal. And that leaves me 129k left over for this position here. Players I can afford. I want to do it by average because originally I had Todd Blanchfield, but now knowing that he's got Adelaide, then Melbourne, I don't know if I'm confident having him anymore. It's going to be the same with Wani. Tanner Krebs is a no-go for me because he's coming off the bench now. It would have, I reckon Dash isn't too bad because I kind of consider, I wouldn't say Goulding's a primo, but he's like a half one. And considering that Lowry doesn't have a half one, he's just got Bannon, Sobey, and Hamilton. I don't know. I don't mind Bannon though, even though he's an extra 20k. They also, speaking of Brisbane, because of Tane Murray, Javon Freeman Liberty obviously coming back, but I don't think he's playing that first game. Who do they play again? I think it's Sam. So I don't think he's playing the Phoenix. So could we see Tane Murray start? Potentially. He's been playing high minutes, so I reckon he's not a bad idea to have. He's obviously going to do better than Malawatch or even like Peatling, in my opinion. Still leaves me 6k. I actually like this a lot more compared to having Blanchfield originally. So that'll be my team there. But I'll have the captain on Sobey to equalise it, and I reckon I'll have Lawalichal as the vice captain. 64 and 64. Interesting. Because Adelaide, who do they play as their second game? They play Sem as well. So based off that, that's 59 points. That's not too bad. Perth play Tasmania, which they've already played twice this year, and then Melbourne for the first time, which is very interesting. So it'll be interesting to see how Lualichal goes against his former club. But I really like this team I've got right now. I like to compare them. So Sobey and Sobey, it cancels each other out. I think Lualichal will do better than Bannon as my vices, and Chatham's going to do better than Hamilton, in my opinion. Then I've got Goulding versus Peatling, or even Hunter. They're going to do better. Foster might keep up with Peatling, and I think Tane Murray's going to do better than Malawatch. It's interesting. It's only an 11-point difference, but look, it doesn't really matter. I think I'll comfortably beat him, and I think this is a pretty decent lineup. So, yeah, that's the team. I completely forgot who had the highest score last week. My ranking's gone back up to 1,200, which is super annoying. Round 9 at 630. Chatham at McVeigh. Humphreys. Jesus. Liafa's gone down a lot. Huh. That's a pretty good team. Pretty good team. What about this one? Cotton, Chatham, Baker, Galloway, Schofield. Interesting that they didn't go with Mojave King, who's 179k and scored more than Schofield, who's about 30k, or would have been 30, 40k less. But yeah, anyways, that's the team going into round 10. Hopefully you guys build a good roster like this as well. If not, maybe even better. Let me know how it all goes. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Sorry for the late upload because as I'm recording, it's 9:10 and it's getting late. So yeah, very sorry it's a late upload. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time and have a good one. Cheers.